On this episode of Playlog, we're talking about two gorgeous indie games, Europa and Neva, then talking about everything we played at Steam Next Fest so far. I shouldn't start the episode drinking water, but I'm going to do it.
It's my time to shine.
If shining is drinking water, good. Gosh, it flew. Hey, everybody, CJB back in with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. We're in a place right now. But of course, can't talk indie games alone because that's super boring. So alongside me, I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. It's popping, homie.
It's Next Fest, baby.
Woo! Let's get it. Let's get it. Now, next week we are formal, like big Next Fest stuff, but we've already been playing stuff, so we'll talk about that a little bit later because we got other reviews to go on to today. But yeah, it's Next Fest. Go play some demos. And also, check out the YouTube video. I recommend, I think it was like 12. I didn't put a number in the title. I recommended a bunch of indie games you should play during Next Fest. It's a good time.
They're good choices.
Why, thank you. I do have quite the palette, if I do see myself. Yeah. But let's see here. Real quick reminder for you guys. As part of the podcast, we'll be doing our monthly book club where we go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. For the month of October, we'll be reviewing Spiritfarer, a cozy management game about dying. A ferry master to the deceased builds a boat to explore the world, care for your spirit friends, and release them into the afterlife. So, if you want to get involved in the episode, play the game this month on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, or Xbox, included on Xbox Game Pass, and then head over to our write-in form in the description and give us your thoughts on Spiritfarer for the October 29th episode of Playlog Podcast. You can join us live on twitch.tv/CGNAB for the discussion, or you can catch the upload a few days later on youtube.com/CGDannyB. We both have some catching up to do on Spiritfarer. We got a couple weeks, so when we get into that, we got Next Fest. We have next week's episode. I have a wedding that weekend that I'm in the wedding party for. I'm regretting playing it on PlayStation. I might have to like remote play to the Steam Deck to get some time in. And then I'll be coming home 2 days podcast. So we put some time into Spiritfarer soon. We're gonna try to knock that one out. Anywho, timestamp, baby. Now, this is the part of the show we could break the ice where you could write in the show and ask us your questions about gaming, life, etc., etc. However, none of you hooligans wrote in this week. So, Tofr says they have a question for us. So, Tofr,
yes.
Knuckle Crack. What do we got?
Yes. So it's not an indie game question. It's
then why would you bring it to the show?
Because I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm just curious, Danny.
Curiosity. You're not a cat, so you can do that.
I was wondering, what is your favorite superhero video game?
Ooh, my favorite superhero video game.
Yes.
As many as we have, there are not a lot of great ones. There's some stinkers. I definitely remember growing up, my brother and I played so much Marvel Nemesis on the PlayStation 2. I could not tell you what the plot was of that game or like what exactly was going on. I just remember you could do 1v1 fights and you would pick the characters who could throw cars. So it was constantly me and my brother playing Spider-Man versus Venom and just swinging around the room, throw the car, swing around the room, throw the car. And that was really fun. But in terms of like high quality, like the Spider-Man games from Insomniac are just kind of top tier. Like it's hard to beat those outside of like the Arkham games. I'm really holding out hope that new Captain America Black Panther game from EA is like peak.
Yeah.
Cause like I need a good Black Panther game. I really, really need that. And there's quite a few in the works. I just need them all to be really good. So the answer was Spider-Man, I think.
Which one?
It's a weird thing where like the sequel's better, right? Like in terms of like what features they added. But I think there's always that thing that's special about the first one being like, not that Spider-Man necessarily did something that was new, but it finally like really cleaned up all these different things that Spider-Man games have always been, but then became better. I think I really like the Venom stuff in Spider-Man 2 though. But Miles is right there and he's black. So I pick Miles. I'll say it might be a little bit more recency bias, but I'll go Spider-Man 2, the Insomniac Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Just because I like the things they added. I like the web, the flying websuit. The Venom stuff, some of the other, the fact that you could skip some of the puzzles that were really annoying as opposed to being like forced to them for the platinum is pretty good. I like that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But what about you, Tofr? What's your favorite? You brought up this. You think about a superhero video game. You're like, oh, I gotta ask a question.
I have a couple, and it's hard to choose. Like you have the modern Spider-Man games, which are amazing, and if I had to choose any of those, it would probably be the Miles Morales game, because I feel like it's so tight.
Yeah,
it doesn't overstay its welcome. It has a story, and you finish the story, and like I think 12 hours, and it doesn't need to be more than that.
Yeah.
Whilst I felt like the original and Spider-Man 2 have like this amount of padding that I didn't need.
Yeah. No, that's valid. I really liked how like compact Miles was, because it really was like, here's the main story. Like there were the Mary Jane-esque missions, right? We're like, I don't want to be this. I want to be Spider-Man. And like I remember in Miles, there's the one where you roam around as Miles and his and Finn as like kids through the science fair, and you're like, I'm like, this is a little long. Can we knock this out real quick? I want to get it done. But yeah, I really like Miles. Miles is great.
Then you mentioned the Arkham games, and Arkham City was my first Arkham game.
Oh, yep.
And it's still my favorite.
I see you.
It's like the perfect size. It plays sublimely. Like the combat and all of the Arkham games is just even the Spider-Man games don't play as well as the Arkham games, I feel.
Damn. Tofr said it, Insomniac. Tofr said you all suck.
Yeah, I said it. No.
How can you not be peak and make something like Suicide Squad? Rocksteady's out here killing it, dog.
Damn. But if I have to pick a favorite superhero game, it would be Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Ooh, okay. I have it. It's still in the wrapper. I haven't played it.
I adore that game. So basically, for people who don't know, it's made by Firaxis, the people who made the XCOM games, and it's basically like this tactical battler, but it's also a deck building game where you use cards in combat, and in between fights, you're like basically playing like. You're building up relationships between the characters and stuff, and it's just such a good time.
Yeah.
I love that game. I love how they portrayed the characters in that. I love the card-based battles.
Yeah, I remember watching Connor play a little bit. I forget how deep into it he got, and I always wanted to say it's like the perfect one. Or if I had the afternoon to just like sit and play something, not mindless, but something that wasn't so much like, I guess, a heavy story investment, I guess is what I'm saying. I definitely want to jump into it, but I could just see it peeking out behind the wall of the indie game wall blocking it. Like I see like Dodgeball Academia, Hollow Knight, and I see like Marvel Midnight Sun just peeking in between the wall. Fun fact, my college professor works with Firaxis and had a big lead on XCOM 2. I don't know if they had anything to do with Midnight Suns, but they worked there when I was in college, so that was cool.
That is cool.
I don't know if we should name drop. Mr. Teacher? Thanks. Oh boy. But yeah, let us know in the comments what your favorite superhero game is, and why. And if you say Suicide Squad, you're getting blocked. You're not allowed to be here.
Listen, if they say Suicide Squad, we just pity them.
Oh boy, that's all you've played. That's the only superhero game you've ever played. That's all you poor child. Oh my god, isn't that getting shut down? Did they confirm that? The Suicide Squad get offline?
Oh, no idea.
Damn.
I think they recently started season 3 or something.
I think was that the one with Mrs. Frost or whatever?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't either. I always get it through people complaining. What happens if this game shuts down? Might be shut down in 2025. That's a big might. That's not an indie headline, so we're not going to look at that, but might be shut down. So big asterisks on there. Anywho's that, those superhero games are great. Now, we don't have any quick indie news today. I mean, it's a small one. Not small, but kind of important. I'll just mention it quick. Rogue Legacy put out their source code for people so they have more knowledge on indie games. So that's really cool and fun. So if you want to have that and you're trying to build an indie game, hey, there's some really good source material out there. There you have it. There's your quick indie news. Now we can have a timestamp. So we can get on to the topic of the show, Tofr.
Yes.
Two very big, beautiful indie games came out this week, including Europa and Neva. We've both played Europa. We both received keys for it. I've played Neva. Do we want to start with Europa and get your thoughts on that and how you want to talk about this game here? What do you think about Europa?
Yeah, let's start with like the slightly negative and build up towards the more positive stuff.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I want to mention that the game looks gorgeous. Europa. Its levels, its world that you traverse looks like I would go for a stroll there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would get lost for hours just walking around that place. But there's a but. There's plenty of buts.
Actually. I love me butts, Tofr. I'll tell you that. What you
got? Like the gameplay and the story both just didn't really match with me.
Okay.
For example, like most of the story is told through these letters that you can find across the map, and that's basically it. There's very it felt to me at least that there was very little storytelling in the level design.
Yeah.
Maybe you can like inform me if I'm wrong on that.
I don't think you are. I think as we started, they're if you haven't seen the game, played the game, it's a big open world adventure, very Studio Ghibli inspired visuals. We can talk about the visuals in a second because I think there's some astounding things to say about it. But yeah, as far as the narrative goes, I think it is very like there's not a lot of environmental storytelling. There's not a lot of like cutscene storytelling, basically the beginning and the end. But you find these big beams of light that have these letters. You pick up the letter and it's like your dad who writes you a letter like, Z, I remember when you took your first step and and you find these all over the place. They're not hard to find. I got the achievement for collecting them all and I wasn't even trying. I just found the ones that I saw. So I got them all. Yeah, I think this game is definitely more of a see the world, enjoy exploring. If you like just the whimsy of being free, and just walking around doing what you want to do, I think this game is like perfect for that kind of gamer. I had tweeted out earlier this week that I had said, Europa is beautiful. It's whimsical. It's got some incredible set pieces. It does feel like it is the younger brother to Journey, and Journey understood the assignment better. That's not to say like negative things about Europa. I think, going back to the visuals, anyone watching the video version, stunning. Gorgeous, beautiful. I had that like breathtaking moment. I even Googled other words for breathtaking that seems so generic now, but like everything else seemed so negative. You're like, I can't even think of them. I just didn't like them. But I was like, yeah, I was like, oh shit, this is beautiful. And like I've used the photo mode so many times in this. But yeah, I think as I got to the end, I kind of got the narrative and like, here's what is happening in this world. But even then it just didn't feel super important. It just kind of felt like this is what Dad had to say. But stunning visuals. That's right with that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But like story wise, it kind of reminded me of a game like Jusant.
Okay.
Where I felt that game again understood the assignment better. Most of the story in Jusant is also told through letters that you find during your climb.
Yeah.
But that world just felt so much more lived in, and it just didn't feel as empty as Europa sometimes does.
Yeah, I agree with the emptiness. I think to start, I felt maybe a little overwhelmed because I didn't know how much I had to explore and how much was a little more like optional. It is fairly linear as far as progression goes, but it does feel like they made a big field and said, plop a building here, plop a building here, plop a ruin here, plop a dead robot here that doesn't do anything. It just exists. And again, that doesn't take away from like the beauty of it. I think it feels full visually, but I think in terms of what you can do and what you can explore, there are just a lot of just like empty shells, or there might be a crystal in there, which is good because it increases like your jump capacity. Because for exploring, it's a lot of like gliding. You essentially have this backpack that where you like hold the jump button, you launch yourself up, and then when you level it up, you can use the backpack almost like a jetpack. And there's like spheres all around the world that as you grab them, they refill. But there's also areas that like are like a battery drainer where they'll suck all the energy out so you can't glide. But most of the time, you are like climbing, gliding across the valley to another one to reach like your new objective. And like even again for video watchers, like you're seeing this huge, beautiful like horizon and all these different. And this is like level 1 or 2 of the game. They get even prettier and the environments change and everything. But yeah, the depth of what you're finding out and about in the world isn't all that impactful. I can definitely think I would agree with that.
Yeah. Maybe I was just too hyped for the game. I don't know, but I struggled. Like another thing that I struggled with was, like I didn't understand certain things in this world, how they made sense. For example, from a certain point onward, there are these turrets that you try to avoid, but you can switch them off with a button that's like right there.
Yeah,
it's almost practically next to the turret. And also the turrets for some reason take aim at you, but not none of the wildlife that's running around. And that just didn't make any sense to me.
I chalked it up to I'm the robot, and they don't like robot on robot crime type deal. I don't really know. Okay. But yeah, the turrets sucked. I kind of hated the turrets. This game, for the like, there's no combat in this game. You're not fighting anything. You're not killing anything. The most you're doing is turning off the turrets or running from other hazards. Like, there's flocks of these like bug/bird things that when they see you gliding, they'll knock you out of the air. You just immediately drop. You might like stagger or something, but there is no like, oh, I hit the ground and died, someone save me. Like it's really peaceful in that way. There are obstacles, so it's like it's just a free walk around. But not obstacles that I think would like, oh man, I died again. Now I have to start over. When you bring up the turrets, there's a section, probably in like section 2 or 3 or something like that, where it's a giant minefield and one of these turrets. Yeah. And I got stuck in this spot where I was gliding over it. And I guess I got too close to the mine. So it blew up. And my Z, the robot's just like, ugh. And then as he's like staggering to stand up, it's just like beep, 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 beep. Pew! And I get shot by the turret, which launches me into another mine. I get thrown again, standing up. Beep, 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 beep. It was probably like 3 minutes of just like me taking out every mine because I couldn't get up fast enough to get away from the turret. But you know what? I let it sit. I let it do its thing. It was goofy. Luckily, that was like the only time I think I had that struggle. But it wasn't like, man, I sure hope this is not consistent because I don't want to do this the whole game.
I get that.
Yeah. But no, I think this is a great like afternoon. I think I didn't check my Steam clock. I would say probably with exploring probably took me max 7 hours, but I'd probably say somewhere in the comfort of like 5.5, 6 to beat. It's a short experience. It's a good afternoon in. I think if you, I started this by like full attention to the game. I didn't have anything else on. After I got through like area 3 or 4, I think is when I threw on like 7 Deadly Sins or something. And I was like watching both at the same time, pulling up YouTube videos and just kind of, coexisting in 2 different medias. I think the game was enjoyable. Like, I don't think the game was bad. I would suggest it to anyone who's just like a cozy maybe not walking sim, but we'll go with it. Like a cozy walking sim adventure, seeing all the sights. If you love Ghibli, and you like that art style, I think this nails a lot of those tones. I won't spoil some of the stuff later in the game, but there's like a really cool set piece. I'm like, this is dope. This gives like Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away. Like it has those aspects. I think they nailed those a lot. But yeah, I think like any of the critiques or complaints that like you have, I could share with. Yeah.
Yeah. There are certainly moments where the sense of wonder is really cool in this game. They kind of nailed that with certain moments that we're not going to spoil here. But then away from those moments, it's like I struggle to keep my focus on it.
Okay. Yeah, probably. I think maybe I was so set on like mainlining it, like direct into my veins, let me get from start to finish, because I had this, I had Neva, which I wanted to play. Steam Next Fest started, so I was basically just like, I want to get these games done so I can play the other games I have to play. And I could see this, and like, this sounds reductive, so like stick with me here, but I don't want it to seem like that. I have a lot of friends, because I'm single as shit, but I have a lot of friends who have girlfriends who don't really play games, but they like to play games every now and again. Something casual, something relaxing. I don't want this to seem like if you're a girl gamer, this might be for you. Like that's not what's there. But I could see people who don't regularly play video games and just maybe now and again pick up the controller for something fun. Like I could see this being something that they fall into. I could see my buddy's fiance just falling in love with this and loving to explore, and then not necessarily looking for anything in particular, but rolling into a freaking ruin and be like, oh, one of the 40 crystals that's in here, I found one. And like, really, that doesn't seem, I don't think it does anything. I didn't find all of those. I found like 14 out of 40 by the time I got to the end. And I was kind of like, oh, whatever, I found another one. I could totally see her being like, oh my God, yes, another one. Like, not that it does anything, now she's excited to find it, but that, cool, I discovered something new. Like, I think some people could find the love and joy that fucking clip of the goddamn monster. Sorry for video watchers, this is just for you guys. But I activate this turret, or this little pillar, and there's a little monster down there, like, I'm gonna shoot at him, and you just see me get just launched away. It's great. But yeah, no, I could see, I definitely think this is a casual game. Like, this is not a challenging game, so I think people could like really sit back and just enjoy a day in. I always like to imagine the rainy day in with a video game, and this seems like that type of title.
That's true. And maybe to finish out this review, I want to point out the character designs, because those are really cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed finding all of the different creatures in this, and their designs are absolutely beautiful. Yeah,
I think so. That was fun, right? So eventually you find a sketchbook, and it's the bestiary. So all the animals you find, all the robots you find, the monsters, you like sketch them in the book, which I think is really fun. Sometimes it's confusing because it'll just pop up with the prompt, and I'm like, I don't see anything, but like there's a bug flying above me, so I quickly sketch it, but like it just happens. It's just a cutscene type deal. I thought that was really fun. That was cool, just to kind of fill out the journal. I don't think I finished it. I'm sure I missed stuff. And I don't know if you can backtrack in this game to like previous areas, because they kind of like over a wall in the next one. So I don't know how much I missed or could go back and do without just doing a brand new run. But yeah, it's peaceful. It's chill. It's relaxing time.
But tell me about this other game that you've been playing.
Other game? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't. That's the wrong scene. I went full screen. Tofr's out.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Hold on. I got this. I got to make this TikTok ready. I got to find, where's the Neva folder, Tofr? Timestamp. Where's the Neva folder, Tofr?
Under the letter N.
Found it. I found it. It was hidden. It was next to the Next Fest folder. I couldn't find it for a second. Okay. All right, we got it. Okay. Ready. We got to make this into a TikTok, right? So ask me the question again as like one of those TikTok podcast clips, you know?
So Danny, what do you think about Neva?
Oh, Tofr. I was playing a lot of things. It's Next Fest, everything else going on. Instant fucking Game of the Year contender.
Whoa.
This shit was awesome. I love this game so damn much. Hold on, I gotta pull up the footage, y'all. Oh my God, I love Neva. Let me preface, I have high
praise.
It's so good. I have one complaint, and I don't know if this is the day one patch. I could not use a controller for this game. I don't know what happened. I updated drivers. I went and changed I tried every template format, whatever. None of it would work. The only way I could do it is I had to plug in my Steam Deck, set it to 1080, go to my computer, play with the controller that way, and capture footage. So it ended up working in the end, but I had to do it through my Steam Deck was the only like issue, which it wasn't quite as beautiful, but it's for a game as beautiful as this, it's still fucking beautiful. Now, complaint out of the way. That was the only issue. Oh my God, it's astonishing. So this team, Nomada Studios made Gris, however you want to say it, a few years back. And that game already was just stunning. And I'm like, how are they going to top it? And they fucking do in every way, shape, and form you can imagine. It is so fucking beautiful. This is just the intro cutscene. But like you start and you're playing as, I believe it's Alba is her character name. There's no real dialogue. The only real words in this game are you shouting to the dog. So when like the dog is running off or is getting lost, or you start as a puppy, right? Who the dog's name is Neva. And they're kind of like, oh, I don't want to jump over the ledge. Like, Neva. And they'll like jump across you. It's a very like the Last Guardian type thing where you have Trico and the kid, and then you have Alba and Neva, and you're kind of raising the dog through seasons. So you start in, I guess you start in summer. I'm trying to think the timeline here. Yes, I think you start in summer. This is the intro cutscene, so no major spoilers. This is the trailer we got, but the first dog you have ends up dying to like the darkness. So now it's just you and Neva. It's so sad. I hated it. I hated watching this. But you are going on an adventure and you're trying to take out all the different like darkness. There's simple creatures you're fighting. That's another plus for me from Gris, is that the combat's there. It's not super intricate. There's no insane mega combos or new skills you unlock. It is just like a 3-button combo. But like you can see here, this is where like Neva's afraid to jump. So you're kind of like, come here, come Neva, and then eventually, makes the jump. There is so much life in this game, in like the simple animations, right? And like the camera's always wide, so you usually have a big shot of the entire scene going on. But like watching Neva as the dog grow up and mature and become like your companion as opposed to your pet is like super cool. Like I had goosebumps so many times because there's a whimsy to Neva, right? It's a dog. It's a curious puppy who wants to see all the things that's going on. But as you're coming across more of these like darkness creatures, right? And it's like, oh yeah, these things are trying to hurt my friend. Like I need to learn how to fight too. So you have the time skip when you finish the first season, moving to the next one, and like the dog's bigger and he's still kind of learning how to fight. And then like third season, I won't get in like too much of the spoilers and some of the events that happen, but like then this dog's just like, I got you. I'm biting this thing at the fucking throat, bro. I'll kill it for you. I'm like, thank you, Neva. And so I was sitting in a Discord call with my buddy Chris. He's been playing Dragon Ball Super, or no, Sparking, whatever the fucking game is. All these anime nerds are playing, right? He's going on about Namek Dragon Balls and Jiren and something, and I've ignored almost every word he said, and I was just like, Chris, they're beating up my dog. I don't care about anything else. I'm murdering everything in front of me. I would do like I don't think I've had the time to sit and lament on like what the story was like as I beat the end and like what that really is. It's a lot of visual storytelling. You get the cutscenes and seeing all that stuff going on. But it's very surreal too, right? Just how Gris was, where it's big world, big metaphoric animal doing something, turning into shadows, morphing and animating. It's a lot of that. It's so much of that. Oh fuck! I want to start it again. I want to play it again.
It's so good.
It's astonishing, dude. It's so pretty. There's different like puzzles, right? So you have like a drop. So if you jump in the air, smash in the ground, you can fall in through a place. There's flowers that you find, which are the collectibles. I don't think they do anything. I thought maybe they would increase my max health, and I don't think that's the case. If they do, I did not find enough. So you just have like your 3 health bars the entire time. And the way the health works is you will go up to these enemies. If you're watching the video version, you can see them now. And they'll... if they hit you, they do a whole chunk of health, but every single attack you do fills in a petal. So if you do a combo 1, 2, 3, and then hit another one 1, 2, 3, that'll refill 1 health bar. Everything like that. And then as you go, you'll have the ability of like calling Neva. You can be like Neva, and Neva will like launch towards an enemy, and you can have them cutting one, like chewing one's throat out while you're fighting another one, or you'll dodge through and then have Neva like come in and attack from behind and do all these different things. The combat's super simple, but it feels really good. Like everything feels good about this game. The platforming was great. The simple, I hardly even say puzzle solving. It is very like linear platformer, but there's just a few occasional like, to open this door, you have to go get these 2 like energy balls. So you go to the right, get one, go to the left, get the other, come back, the door opens. Sometimes the door is kind of levitated in space. So you have to like hit a gong, which will shift all the floors. So you go up on that side, but then when you hit the other gong, the floors will shift back. So you kind of have to jump at a certain pace to catch, like as this one goes up, I land on it. This one goes down, I go again, because if I don't go fast enough, this one will go back down. So I have to make sure I do it in time. Not a challenging game. There may be some encounters that were a little bit challenging, but like just start to finish, I didn't want to put the game down. It was one of those like, I'm gonna go to bed at midnight. I think I was up till like 3, where I'm like, fuck, I don't want to stop. I probably would have beat it faster if I didn't have to play with keyboard. Because even as rough as that was, not being able to use the controller, like it was still pretty intuitive as far as playing a platformer on keyboard, which I would never recommend for anybody ever in their life for anything. I don't care how much you like it. But But yeah, maybe that slowed me down a bit, but otherwise, fuck, Neva's great.
Damn. Did you notice like the soundtrack because
Yes.
I think Berlinist, the people who did the soundtrack for Gris, returned for this game.
Hell
And
yeah.
I was wondering, is it as memorable as Gris soundtrack was?
As someone who very much absorbs the music and maybe doesn't like sit with me, but like I know for a fact, moment to moment, there were things where I'm like, this music hit hard. Where I'm like, there's like end of chapter things where you beat the boss and there's like Neva and like you attack together to kill like the monster. And there'll be like these hits in the music that like send you like, wow, that was so beautiful. Like that moment was great. Like I can't sit here and hum a song and be like, yes, I knew this one. But I remember saying in Discord, I'm like, I don't have these memorized, but like this will be a playlist that I have like saved on my YouTube music of like, yes, the Neva soundtrack is beautiful. I loved it.
Nice. Okay.
I'll play more Neva.
I can imagine, like the fact that you mentioned that they've outdone themselves after how good Gris was is like very high praise already.
Yeah.
Despite playing it on mouse and keyboard, you still mention it's Game of the Year material.
Yeah.
That's more high praise. I mean, now I want to go and play it.
I'm stealing this from Jill Grote, the Indian Informer. She was featured in the Accolades trailer for the game. Her quote was longer. I think the trailer was just like, drop what you're playing for this. And I agree. As someone who has a never-ending backlog that I know will never finish, I know it's never going to happen, but I'll always dream of trying. If I didn't receive this as a review code, like if I was the regular consumer, I was going to buy this just to play it. Like knowing what I know, yeah, whatever I was playing would have been put down for this. Like I would have dropped whatever. Last week we did Plucky Squire. We talked about like favorite Devolver release this year. And I said Crush House. This skyrocketed above. Never.
That was going to be my next question, but that's a resounding yes then.
so beautiful, so fun, so like heartwarming, but also just like I had these sad moments where I'm just like, fuck, I feel things today. I wanted to go to bed, but I just keep feeling things. I had made a tweet. I've had like ever since I was a kid, I want to grow up, I want to have a German Shepherd. And I did the dog I've always wanted when I grow up versus the dog I want now when I grow up. And it was like a German Shepherd and then Neva, where I was like, I want Neva now. I want a Neva in my home. Dog, it's so great. I loved this. It's the sad thing of like, the game is fairly short. I'd say it's like 4 chapters. Each one gets a little bit longer. I'd probably say about 5-6 hours, depending how the combat treats you. It's the thing of, it was short enough where I'm like, shit, I want more. And that's not like the game was too short, but I'm like, oh, the game was too short. Damn it. Like I wanted more. But damn, I'm probably pick this up on PlayStation. Like at some point here, I want to get the platinum in this. I want to play it again.
Damn.
Neva's so good, man. This is so much fun.
I'm just mesmerized by the visuals.
It's gorgeous. And like I said earlier, like Gris is already like super beautiful, right? Like how are they gonna like outdo that? But they do. And like the foreground, the background. I know there's clips I want to show, but they're much later, and I don't want to like spoil towards the end of the game. So I'm like trying not to play those. But like there's some where you're like, eventually you could ride on Neva as they get bigger. I will say I got a little confused with that because sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. And I think that's just tailored to like, this area is not big enough for you to be running around on. You just walk versus like, there's one that's like a big old plain with like mountains in the background. It's got a big parallax effect as you're running and you're seeing the different, for anyone who doesn't know, parallax is where you have like 3 different layers of visual. So you have the mountains in the back, the mountains in the middle, the mountains in the foreground, and then your actual ground you're standing on. And they all kind of move at a different pace. And it's breathtaking. Again, I hate that word has become so overused, but like, God, I loved this game. I just like, I recency bias. I don't know if I can say it is the game of the year for me yet, but like, as we get to the Jeff Keighley Awards, when we're talking like indie game of the year, this, as far as I'm concerned, won. This has won so far. I think there's still a chance. You know, we got Bellatra, we got big ones. And again, recency bias is still there, but like, this seems like if it doesn't win, I'll be like, that's weird. Why didn't Neva win?
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I really like Neva, dude.
So how about we quit recording? I go play Neva, and then we come back.
Sounds good. I hit the 4-player, not the timestamp. Oh, what happened to you? You should do the whole episode like that. That's crazy. Oh damn! I'm sitting here. I'm like, I kind of rambled through. Were there any other thoughts, any other questions you were thinking about for Neva? That like, oh, what about this? What about that? Or like,
you answered all of my questions before I could ask them.
There we go, chat.
And I was just like, if I had other questions, I just forgot about them whilst staring at the footage.
It's so beautiful, and like, it's weird because like I'm a sucker for the visuals. Like that is what will get me into your game. I think that's safe for everyone. I just don't know how many people can like realize it about themselves. But I've said like, if it's a cute art style, it's a pretty art style, like that'll get me in. And then the gameplay typically will follow suit. But start to finish, like there was not a spot, even if it was like an ugly area because of like the tone and the setting, like it was still gorgeous. Like, I don't know what is in the water over at Nomad Studios, but they make some pretty ass games, dude. Gorgeous.
That they do. They do.
Can I get Neva 2? Is that out yet? Is that like... I hope they release it soon.
Maybe some DLC first?
That'd be pretty cool. Did Gris ever get DLC? I think it was just its own thing, right?
So.
Yeah. I don't know. It's thinking narratively, right? Again, without going into spoilers how everything goes. I don't know that the game lends itself to have an expansion unless we're like... I didn't even say talk to another character, but it's not like there's another character. It really is just the enemies and then you and the dogs. So you don't have much to expand upon unless you decide to do like in between spring and or in between winter and spring, like what could have happened here, like how maybe a story like that. But I think the game does a good job of, even though it has its timescapes, I think it tells its stories of like the phases of puppy to like grown adult, like dog, and like what that cycle of life looks like. I think it does a great job telling people the story they want to tell. And it's just another one where I'm like, this is why indies do it best. They kill it.
That's true.
I love Neva.
Did you cry?
I don't think I had like actual tears coming out, but I definitely had I had my whimper moment.
Okay.
Again, I was sitting in a call with a friend playing Sparking Zero who's just like, oh yeah, I got him. And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, for video watch, sorry, the glasses came off, the knuckle on the lips, like don't do it. But again, it was a lot of, I felt this connection to a pixel art dog, like again, not pixel art, but like a virtual dog. Like, I don't think I cared about my Nintendogs as much as I cared about Neva. Like I was there. Anytime, like there's dog noise, right? So if the dog gets hit, they do like the whimper, and I'm like, I'm done. Someone's dying in this chapter. I don't care who it is. Someone's dying. Yeah. I talk to this dog so much. So many times. I'm just like, it's all right, but it's gonna be okay. I won't let them hurt you again. Like, I suggest everybody play Neva. I think, is this everywhere? Switch, PlayStation. Hold on.
I think
Neva, Devolver. Double check. I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. I forget when I recorded the video.
It should be everywhere.
Yep, Steam, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. Yeah, you don't have an excuse.
Nope.
10 out of 10 from Gamerant. One of the most stunning exchanges of visual, sound, and movement I've experienced in a long time. Gaming trends. Nomada has once again created something raw with emotional passion. The Gamer, one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. Is there merch yet? There's no merch yet. Damn. I want a Neva plush.
Talking about merch, though.
Oh, hey, look at the segue. Timestamp. Hey, guys, I hope you enjoy watching the content over here. It's a great time. But if you want to help support the content, first you should like the video because it's really helpful. Or if you want to support financially, you should buy some merch. So here's Past Danny telling you about clothing. This episode of Playlog is brought to you by My Freaking Merch. So I'm really bad at reminding you guys about this, but I've got merch. Always in a mood where you don't feel like giving it your all? Be sure to grab the Just Quit apron. Or perhaps you're an Animal Crossing fan and you've seen my mad skills as villager. Welcome. Where you going? Oh, that's right! I'm the mayor! I'm the mayor! Then you can pick up the I'm the Mayor hoodie. Or maybe you just discovered the channel through this episode of Playlog right here, and you really like indie games just like us. Then feel free to snag the Playlog podcast t-shirt. I'm really bad at taking the time to come up with new merch ideas because I don't sell a lot of merch. but I also don't plug it very much, so it's this vicious cycle at the end of the day. So if you want to help support the channel, be sure to head over to shop.spreadshirt.com/CGDannyB and pick up your merch today. And if you want to take a nice selfie and tag me in it on Instagram or Twitter or whatever other social media sites are out there, I'll repost it because you're a badass and you deserve it. So once again, be sure to check out shop.spreadshirt.com/CGDannyB or check out the link in the description and get your Nomi flavored merch today. Somebody just flushed the toilet upstairs. I don't know if it comes through the mic, but I can just hear the...
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, cool. I don't know what it is. It's like the plumbing's fine, I guess, but it's just loud as shit sometimes. Where I'm like, hey let's record a thing. And I'm like, the downstairs toilet's rough. That one rumbles. That one's like, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What's going on down there? Anywho, Zazzles. Now, Tofr. We'll be doing our like full Steam Next Fest episode like next week of everything we played. Probably won't recycle what we've been playing here and talk about now, but we cannot talk about Steam Next Fest while Steam Next Fest is going on. So you want to tell us what you've been playing so far during this Next Fest? I mean, you got a list. I got a list. We've been playing a bunch of shit.
We have lists. Yeah. Let me kick things off with a game that you got me a key for.
I did.
So I could play it early. And that's Citizen Sleeper 2.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah. The first game is one of my all-time favorites. So I might be biased.
As you should be.
Also, I was kind of in doubt if I wanted to give the demo a try because I didn't want any spoilers for the full game.
Sure.
But then when that preview key came in, I was like, yeah, this is a sign. Now I have to play this.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot what the embargo was. They shot it to me and I was just like, let me just send this to Tofr. And you're like, oh my God, thank you. I was like, hell you go.
Yeah. And like, I was excited and I am even more excited now. The developer, Jump Over the Age, took everything that was special about the original game and just added to it in interesting ways. Yeah. Once again, you're playing as a sleeper on the run. But while in the first game you were like stuck on the space station. Yeah. Now you're on the run.
Okay.
Yeah. And like instead of being stuck on that satellite, you can actually travel into space doing jobs. And these excursions into space add a whole level of gameplay, but also a whole new level of lore. Like we get to know so much more about the universe that this takes place in, and it's just really, really cool.
I love that.
The writing is just spot on again, just like it was with the first game. The art design is basically the same as with the original game. But in this case, that's a really good thing, because like you can see if you're watching on YouTube, the character designs are really cool. The space stations look excellent. Yeah, I'm even more hyped for this game now, and I can't wait for it to come out next year.
Hell yeah. As someone who still hasn't played the first one, what I know you mentioned this time you're on the run as opposed to like stuck in the place. What does this one like add or improve on from the first one that like anyone who's played the first game, they're like, oh, I can do this now, or oh, this is better? Like what would be like a selling point for that?
The big change in this demo is like the excursions that you make into space. The fact that you're no longer stuck on one satellite brings like an extra layer to things. That's the only thing I noticed from the demo. There might be more to come in the full game. I don't know, but I have to say it does switch things up and immediately makes things more interesting.
Hell yeah.
I'm not saying that the original wasn't interesting, but it's just even more interesting. Like
you heard it here. First Citizen Sleeper, boring as balls. Tofr said
it. Oh God, no.
Hell yeah. I love that. Yeah, like I love the style. As I sat there watching the trailer, I always think of like Cyberpunk Edge Runners in like a world that I think in another timeline where that game didn't come out as absolute dog ass, like Cyberpunk could be my entire personality. And it just that's the way that it was. And I could easily have seen like if Cyberpunk proper had hit differently, I would have probably jumped into Citizen Sleeper just because of the vibe a lot sooner. And I sit there and look at these. I'm like, I know I need to jump in the first one. I think it's still on Game Pass, or I might own it on PlayStation. I don't even remember at this point. No. But like, I definitely want to play it. You said next year we don't have like a date, just sometime next year?
Sometime next year.
Okay. I can rock with that. That could easily be... Yeah. So it sounds like 2026 then. Cool. We can rock with that.
I really like... Especially if you're into like tabletop games, you're gonna love this.
Oh yeah,
because you have the whole aspect of these dice rolls that will determine what you can do during a certain cycle.
Yeah,
and you like choosing which die to use where and when is there's a lot of tactical depth here.
Yeah,
that doesn't get talked about enough.
It's interesting now that I think about it, right? Because I hadn't played Citizen Sleeper, but I did play Double Dungeon, which we talked about in the last episode. And you would always mention, like, you roll the die and then you kind of place them where you need to. I'm like, oh, wait, I can envision now, without getting my hands on it, what this is like. I'm like, okay, cool. I see that. And, fuck. So if I don't have time. Okay, tell you what. I'm not telling you what to pick. I'm just saying we have a book club. We have a book club. So sometime between now and 2, probably a good pick. I'm just going to put that out there.
Maybe.
He's like, I don't even want to play that game again. I'm good. Oh shit. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Citizen Sleeper 2?
I really loved how the demo didn't give too much away.
Okay.
Like,
sweet.
It showed how there's something intriguing going on. You're on the run, and the person that you're running from is someone who like helped you out, but they helped you out because they had ulterior motives.
Yeah.
And that's all we get to know during the demo. And I'm like, oh,
sneaky.
Like, are they like trying to like kill us? Or what are they gonna do when they find us? There's this intrigue, and I want more. Damn it!
God, it's got me gassed. I hate like it sucks. The amount of times I'm like, that has me gassed. That has me excited. Like I want to play this, knowing damn well in my head that like there's only 24 hours in a day. There's only 12 months in a year. Like how could I play everything that I want to? And like I one day I'm gonna play Citizen Sleeper. It's gonna happen. It's just when will that happen? Hopefully soon.
I'll make you play it.
Do it. Bring it on. Fight me.
Tell me about the demo that you've been playing.
Ooh, I'll tell you about a demo I've been playing. So I haven't played too much Next Fest yet. That's pretty much tonight through the rest of the weekend as we're streaming and everything. Speaking of which, if you're watching the podcast the day it comes out, we'll be live twitch.tv/CJMB Night playing more Steam Next Fest demos. Anyway, there's the plug. But I started with a game that I found out about on Twitter, and it's called Disposition. I was really like, this was in one of the, I believe it was like the best indie games, like Twitter. They're like, hey, what games are in the Next Fest? Tell me if your demo's there. And I saw this one, and the thumbnail's like a dude with like a cassette tape for a head. So I was like, I'm intrigued. What is this?
Okay.
So it is basically one of those find the difference type games, except rather than finding the difference, you are starting in a room with a bunch of random objects on desks and shelves and everything else. As you're like, I got to memorize where everything is. Then when you're done, you move to the hallway and they will drop one of those items on the floor. You have to remember where that item was in the last room, go to the next room, which is an exact copy with none of the items, and then place it where it belongs.
Jesus.
It starts really easy. You go into a room and there's a desk and there's 2 items. Cool. You walk in. Oh, the keyboard that goes on this one. Go in. Boom. Room 2. As they go further and further, this is the part, like, it's got a superliminal viewfinder. I keep saying Portal, but maybe a little less Portal, but one of those type of indie puzzle games. But you pop in the room, you're like, all right, cool. And I am losing my mind here because there was a speed run to it, right? They're like, can you be the highest? I think I was like, when I finished 45th in the world right now. So I'm like, kind of a big deal. I think it was like 9 minutes, so not that great. But the world record was like a minute 30. I'm like, that guy has no life. What? Touch some goddamn grass. Like, that's crazy. I don't know who did that. But yeah, I would walk into the room and I'm like, all right, clockwise, DVD player. And like this not what these things were, but my brain made them that. So I'm like, okay, DVD player, coffee maker, saw blade, and I don't know what it is. It's like a big red disc. I don't know what the item is, but I'm like, saw blade. And then it's like a keyboard, but then another keyboard that's like a little bit bigger. So I'm like, keyboard thing, to just memorize what these items are called in my head, and then go to the next room and place it. It took me quite a few runs. I kept yelling at chat. I'm like, you guys need to remember where these things are. But I was so impatient to try and get the record. I'd go in, drop something. You're like, Danny, you didn't even give us the stream lag. Like, I didn't have the time to tell you where that belonged. I'm like, that's your fault. Blah, 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 blah. Watch the stream faster. And but this was great. It was stressful in a fun way, especially as I got to like the demo has 10 levels. You want to get through room 10. I kept getting to like 7, 8 and then fucking up and then going back and doing it again. The time will start over. But it's fun. I don't know what more is going to come of it, how it's going to change. The rooms definitely got bigger with more items. The final room is like 2 floors and there's items up here. There's item down here. What could they be? I'm assuming as you go, eventually you'll have to memorize a whole room and put 5 items in. Or as you step up, you have the 2 items, or like maybe it's inverse, or like I'm only imagining. But like, this is one of the hardest ones where you have an entire corridor and there's like little alcoves. Lord. Like here's like, okay, slide projector, saw blade. And I'm like jumping across the room. So I'm like, okay, if I remember the left side, chat, you remember the right side. And I just know 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, like on the 2 sides. And I'm like, chat, which one was this? So like, that was 3 on the right. So I know where to put it, go to the next room. And it was like, the adrenaline was there. I wanted to do good and I wanted to get it done. I kept calling that thing Lana for anyone who's watched Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. There's like a little code. I'm like, that's Lana. And that's, but Disposition is cool. I was surprised when I saw this one and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know that I know I would enjoy it playing it on my own time for sure. This definitely feels like one, having the camera on me, watching it, like chat, see me play, I think would probably suit me more as I go forward playing it in the future. But either way, like, I think Puzzle Junkies will like this one. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it looks super stressful.
Yeah. There was an intense motion blur at the beginning. Okay. As the player, I thought it, like, I was fine with it. I had no issue with it, but I was like, chat is like, it's kind of messy for us. So maybe it was like motion blur through stream, reducted quality, etc. Said it was a little much. There was a slider. I could easily turn it down, but like, okay, it made my brain feel good watching the motion blur. So like, maybe it made it feel like I had a really good PC that could run like the top tier games. I'm like, look at all this motion blur, baby. But, yeah, just something in case you check it out for yourself. There is a slider for that, and the motion blur is like pretty intense, but you can change it.
It looks cool. Yeah. Like it's a fun concept.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of this one. Those puzzle games, they'll do that. Those first person ones, I like them a lot. Bam, timestamp. What else you play at Next Fest?
I got another key from a developer. So let me ask you, have you ever been a building or wanted to date one, or ideally both?
Let me tell you, I've seen some sexy ass houses out there that I could never afford. So maybe, never been one though. Never been one.
Okay. Well, if you wanted to be one, then this is the game for you.
Let's go.
Building Relationships,
Hell
which is
yeah.
an excellent title, sees you arriving on an island where there are different bachelor pads to get to know. It's up to you to try and romance them with all kinds of incredibly witty conversation options. There are also mini games like fishing, with the fish being vehicles, as you can probably see in the, yeah. Or you can also make food, and making food is basically assembling furniture from like IKEA or something. Yeah.
I love that.
There's not much I can say about it except that it's like the humor is so on point. It's so funny. And like, I really like the old PlayStation aesthetics.
Yeah,
the visuals have like that old school PlayStation vibe. This is a newer demo. I already played an earlier build, and it doesn't give that much extra, but it's worth playing through because it's just so funny. Yeah. Like, you can choose a name for your building. You can't write one yourself. You have to choose one from options.
Okay.
And I chose Samantha,
Okay, we love
Right?
that. We love that.
If you enjoy that kind of humor, this game is full of that kind of
That's
like
awesome.
that kind of jokes.
I know we talked about, I forget, it was at Wholesome Games or Day of the Devs. It was somewhere. We talked about the demo before. I know you mentioned playing it. And I have this one downloaded. I have to check it out. I know it's on the list. I would definitely want to play this one. This one looks great.
It's so fun. Like the windmill is called Millie.
Okay, hot. Millie's hot.
Yeah, she's pretty flirty.
So is it like dating sim? Like you kind of like, I'm into Millie, I'm gonna do all the tasks for Millie, and then like our houses like move in together. Like what's the end goal with, or is it, or just like a narrative piece? Like what are we, how are we playing this game?
The end goal is dating one of the, like, but you can choose actually. Like
Okay.
you can be in it for like the flirtation stuff. You can be in it to like find the one. But I don't know how, like, what the game is building up to. Like,
Okay.
and in the demo, you just get a couple of buildings that you get to talk to, and like you can start flirting a bit already. And the demo ends with like this kind of brunch where you make the food for the other buildings to eat. And that's it. That's where the demo ends.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
God, this is it, dog. Indies just do it better. I don't see no AAA studios making a game where I can play as a house.
Exactly.
This is great. This looks so fun. Yeah, they gotta check this one out. Maybe tonight. Maybe I'll play this one later tonight. We're gonna see. I like this one.
It's a blast. It's an absolute blast.
Do you know, is this the team's first game, or I don't know if it's a team?
I think so. I think so. Let me check.
Yeah, I was want to like double check. Not that I need. I looked up building relationships and I got fucking like Indeed business advice. I'm like, that's not what I was looking for.
And games. Yeah, this is their first.
Okay,
one.
this is something got a banger on their hands, dog. Do I not?
I think so. I think so.
It's in my library. Okay, hold on. It's in my library, but it's not downloaded. Now I got to download it. Now I got to download it.
Go for it.
Down. There we go. Now it's downloading. Boom. Hell yeah. But bam, timestamp. Let's see. What else did I play? You want to hear about? You have the list. Any of these you want me to talk about first?
I am very curious to hear your thoughts on Toads of the Bayou.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. So I literally, this is not in the stream. I have to pull it up in another video. Pause, please. You're ruining my timeline, Twitch. Let me do the thing. So I literally played this one probably like 15 minutes before we sat down to record. Because I had that little window. I remember wishlisting this game once upon a time. I forget if it was Indie World event, where it was. I just remember it's been on my list, my wish list. So I pulled up Next Fest and I saw this in my like your wish list category. I'm like, let's go. But I really dig this game. I really like Toads of the Bayou. So for anyone who's played Into the Breach, it is one of those turn-based strategy games, but it's also a deck builder. You are playing as various toads. Right now, the demo only has the one character. I don't know if I can unlock the rest. But you have a deck of cards, and they all have different. So there's a move card, there's a shoot card, there is a stab card. The stab card lets you do 1 damage, but you can also push an enemy. I'm going to push them back 1 space if any enemy lands into the edge of the world, another obstacle, or another monster, they'll take an additional damage. So like these little dorks on the screen here, sorry, again, audio listeners, it's a very visual thing. These little bush monster guys have 2 health. So if you go through the stab, you stab, push, into the wall, dead. Each mission you go on has like side objectives. So like most of the ones in this demo are protect the gold, protect the oil, or kill X amount of enemies. Okay. I did 5-6 levels, I think, in this first area that you can play. I lost to the boss. But it's the roguelike way of, as you progress through the levels, most games have the side objective. If you don't get it, you don't get the extra points. And you still earn extra money for doing them. But if you fail an objective, you get an unplayable card in your deck, which decreases your AP when you draw it. So at the beginning of a turn, you have 3 AP, 3 action points. So if I go, they're like, protect the gold. If I let this little dork take the gold, I lose, or I get this unplayable card, which every time I draw, I'll lose AP. So at the beginning of my turn, I immediately go from 3 to 2 moves. So it becomes more challenging. So you want to try and complete these objectives. The one thing I haven't quite figured out yet is that you can, back in like the bar, like the tavern where you start everything, there's different shops. You can buy new cards. You can buy traps. The game wouldn't let me buy traps. So I just don't know if it wasn't implemented yet or if that was a bug or what that was going on there. But I didn't, I wasn't sweating to have them. There's another spot where you can buy teammates. I thought the teammates were going to be additional players, like characters. It seems like they join your team, but they give you additional perks. Like I got this big brawler frog who is essentially like every time you kill an enemy, you earn an extra AP. So I get an extra action point for killing someone. But for every third action point, for every third monster killed, it would drain my action points. So if I was doing like too good on a turn, like boom, you're dead, gain a point, boom, you're dead, gain a point, boom, you're dead, it would just drop me to 0.
Okay.
And then the other thing with the move card, it is based on how many turns you have left. So, or at least to start, you have 3, you can move up to 3 spots, you have 3 action points. So if you don't move on the first turn, it'll drop down to 2. If you don't move on the second turn, it'll drop down to 1. It's a free card, it doesn't cost you any of your energy to use, but if you don't use it, by the end of your turn, it's like you can move for 0. So you literally can't move. I screwed myself quite a few times on that where I'm standing in a damage spot because I'll show you where the enemy's going to attack. But because I like boom, boom, attack, stab, shoot, whatever, I ran out of movement speed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get smacked this next turn. I only died to the final boss because he does a big like explosion. It scatters everywhere. And I'd like dodge his attacks, but then I'd be lined up right in front of an enemy. I'm like, shit, I stepped into their fire. That's on me. But like I had fun as someone who like I enjoyed Into the Breach but didn't love Into the Breach. Like this is the one. This is like if I'm trying to think, I don't have my own Slay the Spire, but if there was a new game that like if Wild Frost was that, Wild Frost be my Slay the Spire. Goobies was my Vampire Survivor. Like it was that. Like this is my Into the Breach right now.
Okay.
I loved everything I've played. It's really fun. I could see myself. I don't know how it's going to work in controller. I hope it works fine. If it's meant for mouse and keyboard, I guess on the PC. But I was going to say, like, I could see this being my kick back on the couch, play on my Steam Deck type of game. Like, this looks really fun. I had a blast with this one.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's on my to play list. Because I've had it on my wish list for a long time as well. I especially like the art style.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's love. Like the world is very like I'd say like it's not a big world to explore or anything. It is all like tile level based, but like this first area is the crocodile swamp or something like that. And like all throughout you'll see like sometimes alligators and crocodiles swimming in the background, or you see them like submerge and or breach the water and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's just the world feels alive around my battle, which was really cool. Yeah, you can see on the left here like there's the team that I built. Like I had a guy and I didn't understand what was happening. I clicked on him. I'm like, what's the X do? And I like deleted him, but I didn't sell him. I think I just got rid of him. So I'm like, oh, I don't know where he went. But then I got this butler who I forget what he did. I bought him for the last round and then died. So I forget, but, yeah, no, Towards the Bayou. I really dig this one. I'd be lying if I said I didn't sit the whole time being like saying Gambit quotes in my head. I'm just like, God, I can't even think of a Gambit quote now that I'm on the spot, but.
Were you about to make a name for yourself?
I was about to make a name for myself. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. No, that's a really cool one. Puzzle fans, again, or I guess more turn-based strategy games fans. That one's for you.
Yeah.
And
I have something pretty similar to that.
Yeah?
Yes. Do you remember the fight choreography from Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
I do. It was great. I made a college animation about it.
Yeah, especially like the elevator scene. Where you're like in this really cramped space. And he's like fighting all of these people.
I just sit here, I'm like, wait, which game is he talking? Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Nights in Tight Spaces.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
This is the follow-up to Fights in Tight Spaces, which was like in a modern setting. But now it's in like this fantasy medieval setting. And it is also a deck builder with turn-based battles on like this roster where all enemies are placed. So it's gameplay is pretty similar to Toads of the Bayou, I think. But again, the visual style here is like a big showstopper, I think. Gameplay is fun. It just like you can use your enemies to like take damage instead of instead of taking that damage yourself.
That's so
by
great.
moving them. Yeah. You can use your environment as well. Like, for example, I played a scene on a bridge, and you could actually throw your opponents off that bridge.
Wow, let's go.
Yeah, for instant death. Yeah, it's really cool. There's not much I can add because I'll just basically be repeating what you said about Toad in the Bayou, but this was one of my most anticipated demos for this next fest, and it delivered completely.
Yeah. It's so fun. I played, I don't know if it's the same demo or if they updated it. I played a demo earlier this year that I really dug. I was a big fan of fights in tight spaces, which does more, I don't know if I say a spy, maybe an FBI agent type deal. Hey, you do with sunglasses or something. But I was a big fan of that, but I really like the medieval and the like sketchy art style of knights in tight spaces. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
What else have you played?
What else have I played? Nothing. That's all I had. Those are the only games I played.
No, it's not.
Let's think here. Man, do I stick with roguelikes? Yeah, I stick with roguelikes.
Go for it. Go for it.
So, you ever played Temtem?
I've always meant to pick it up, but I never did.
So for anyone who's never played Temtem, it is I don't like the word knockoff or ripoff because this sounds accusatory and like, I don't like that. But it is a Pokemon clone. Vibrant, cell shading, gorgeous video game. I like Temtem enough. But they put out Temtem Swarm, which is Temtem meets Vampire Survivors.
Ooh.
And when someone in chat was like, I have to go do something. I'll be back for the next game. And they came back like, you're still playing this? I'm like, I'm having a really good time. This is really fun. So yeah, anyone who doesn't know Vampire Survivors, you roam around the map as you pick up items and upgrades, you do more damage, more spread, etc., etc. And then you're killing everything around you, trying to complete tasks. The way this one works is because Temtem is Pokemon, you have your water, your fire, your grass types, your whatever. The first character you have is the little platypus. I can't think of his name. Platypet. There it is. So you run around as Platypet. I love him. He's cute. I'm glad they gave us the water starter. Now I was very confused.
Water starters.
They're the best. They're the best, baby.
They are.
But yeah, so it's Vampire Survivors, but it's Pokemon. You roam around the map. I think what makes it a little more challenging is that you have to activate events through like these portals. And the way it'll work is you'll run around, like you'll see the icon, like, hey, there's something up here. You run up there. If you step on it, it doesn't activate. You have to wait there for like 3 or 4 seconds. And it'll be like, all right, mission started. Then you'll find out, is it a defend this pillar? Don't leave this area. Kill these 5 or 6 enemies or whatever it is. What makes that tough is when you don't have enough. In Vampire Survivors, it's garlic, and this game is called your key pool or something like that. But it is like the ring around you that kind of like repels everyone and does damage before they get to you. If that's not strong enough, they are just going to swarm you while you're waiting in this one spot. So like, I very much wasn't grabbing a lot of the upgrades because I know I'm not going to survive this if I stand here. But they'll have bosses who spawn partway through, and then you'll have to defeat them. They'll drop a chest, which will be like the chest in Vampire Survivors. You get 1, 3, 5 upgrades at a time. They'll just upgrade all your items in your inventory. I really enjoy, again, looking at it in the way of like, now I say it as I've platinum Vampire Survivors, but this is taking the formula of Vampire Survivors, putting it in a world or a game that I like am interested in. Not that I'm the biggest Temtem friend, but it being so Pokemon-esque. Like if Nintendo dropped a Pokemon Survivors, or if we got a Shovel Knight, a Cuphead, a something Survivors, like that's my entire personality for like a month. I promise. So like I was really enjoying this one. So if you've never been like into Vampire Survivors because you don't like the super low pixel art style or anything like that, but you've enjoyed or at least think you'll enjoy Temtem, like this is a cool one to check out. I just unlocked the second character when I finished this section. You got the little electric type is like Bolt something. So I want to jump back in and see what he's all about and see how he plays. But you can also evolve your Pokemon or your Temtem, which I forgot to mention. So after sitting like you hit level 10, you can evolve to stage 2. I think then it says plus 15. So I assume you get to plus 10 levels, evolve once, then get to level 25, evolve a second time. And each time you're, I think, increasing your damage, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah. you played Vampire Survivors, you played this, but it's got a cute little platypus. So that's kind of cool.
It sounds like an interesting take on it. Like plenty of Vampire Survivor clones just do the same thing but reskin it.
Yep.
And this looks like it actually tries to innovate on it.
Yeah. It does a really good job of that. I think it to be so similar to Vampire Survivors that, like, again, now that I've played it, now that I've platinumed it, and I'm like, oh, this is the garlic, this is the pentagram, this is the fucking the thing that heals me, the fucking heart thing in Vampire Survivors. Like, this is that equivalent. And I'm sure I'll unlock more and find more. I don't know if this has like the combo evolutionary item type thing, or if it's like, oh, if I pick up this item and this item, I'll become this. I'm not sure if it includes that, but I hope it does. Because, like, I want to feel OP again. I want to kill everything on this screen with my water attacks.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing about Vampire Survivors is, like, the power trip you go on.
Yeah. Dude, the one night I sat up here at Queen Sigma, I let that sit overnight. I came back, I was dead in the morning, but a couple 100,000 kills, kind of a big deal.
Damn.
Timestamp, but yeah, that was Temtem Swarm. What else you got?
I also played a game called Ballionaire.
Yes. So someone left this in the comment section on the YouTube video, and I haven't seen it, but I said I would check it out.
It's such a good time. It's basically chaotic pachinko roguelike.
Oh, shit. Okay. Hold on. YouTube ain't got it. YouTube gave me a Netflix show. Ballionaire.
Oh, no.
Steam. Here we go.
Yeah, you pick a shape for your pachinko game. Like, it could be a triangle, but it could be a hexagon.
Okay.
And then you play pachinko, and through playing that, you try to appease the gods with your incredible scores. You get to use power-ups, as you can see in the video.
Yeah.
To, like, build these completely broken builds that see you racking up thousands of points in no time. And it's like, I could get seriously addicted to this one. The presentation reminded me of Grindstone, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I love me some Grindstone, baby.
Yeah, and it's, of course, like, it's very dependent on luck.
I was about to ask. I was like, how much skill is in here? I can see building, but I'm like, this looks like, oh, you missed that thing. Too bad.
Yeah, like, you can choose where to put your power-ups.
Okay.
And you can be strategic like that, but then at the same time, you can put all of the power-ups and then just watch your pachinko ball miss all of them.
That sounds brutal.
But the thing is, like, the one more run feeling it's there. And yeah, it's also recently been picked up by publisher Raw Fury.
Hey, let's go!
I really like, so I'm hoping that having that backing will make this game be what it can be.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. God damn it. This is really fun.
Yeah. Could be...
Go for it. No, you go.
Okay. I'm gonna say it. This could be next year's Balatro.
Okay, listen. Okay, same mind. Okay, cool beans. Yep. Cool. I was gonna say, I'm loving these, like, new, I don't want to be like the gambling roguelikes, but, like, if we take any combination of, like, game show, mini game, card game, whatever, and turn them into roguelikes, like, we fundamentally should be able to eradicate gambling addictions. You know what I mean? Like, we could do all these things at home and I'm not losing major chunks of cash. Like, this looks great. I hate that. There's another one. They still have to play, what was the other Balatro one? The Dungeons and Degenerates?
Yeah, Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers.
So many. So many.
I have to say, like, we already have a pachinko roguelike in Peglin.
That's true. We do have that. Yeah.
I liked this a lot more.
I think the style for this definitely hits better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Peglin's cute. Yeah, I would recommend Peglin. But yeah, I definitely think this one seems a lot more my speed.
It's so chaotic. I think this could be a fun one to stream as well.
True. I could see that. I always got to think, right? We had the joke on Twitch where like at one point I just pulled up Subway Surfers footage and let it play in like the top corner while we were playing something else or watching something else, whatever. And I was like, this seems like one that I would pull up and then have like, I don't know, freaking Neva in the background. In the bottom corner, I have Ballionaire. I'm like, oh, hold on, I got to... All right, anyway, back to fighting. And like, I could just see them like, oh, look at all the stuff on the screen.
Yeah.
I've experimented with the 4 screens in one. I haven't done anything with it. But I thought about for the DICE Awards, having the show on one screen, logo in the bottom, me on one screen, and then a game underneath, and just doing that stream and seeing how it goes. And we go, we'll try it. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how that goes. But maybe the DICE Awards this year. We'll give it a shot and see how it goes. But
Cool.
Anyway, that's whatever. Let me see. I've played one other demo so far yet for Steam Next Fest. That's Slime Heroes. So this is a cozy Souls-like.
A cozy Souls-like.
A cozy Souls-like. And yeah, they did not forget the Souls-like part. When I started it, it wasn't that bad. It felt like an action adventure game. Like, this is cool. This is fine. Sometimes little guys hit harder, but like they were easy to dodge, easy to read. But you build your own little slime. You pick your color, you pick your eyes, you pick your mouth. And you have like this dragon dog friend, like what's that? Never Ending Story, Never Ending Tale, Never Ending, whatever that movie is that I've never seen in my life. Never Ending Story, yeah. You have a character that looks like that, but pink. But they're fighting to save your life from these weird little creatures. You're like, I gotta get stronger. So you're running around the map, you're beating enemies, you pick up their crystals, you can use those to level yourself up, increase your health, your damage, etc. And the demo ends with you taking on the first boss. Where's this motherfucker? Where's this bitch? This fucking thing, right? It does the Souls thing where you die, you drop your crystals, you have to go pick them up. I didn't let it happen. I assume if I die without picking them up, they're gone. Okay. So this is the first boss here. It's a big old dog thing that's like infected. He's a tank. He's a big bitch, and he killed me like 40 times. No. I was getting so anxious and like pretend streamer rage frustrated, right? Like I wasn't actually mad, but I was just like, I'm mad at this game. But I remember like someone in chat, Indie Maniac, showed up and he was just like, get good. I'm like, bro, I will have you timed out you just got here and I will get rid of you. And I never time people out. My mods do it. So I didn't know how to set a time. So I just typed timed out. It's like 10 minutes. Like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, get out of here. I'm tired of you. I'm like, okay, you can untime him out. I'm just like, don't tell me to get good. Then someone else did. I'm like, 40 minutes. Fucking time him out. I'm not doing this shit tonight. I'm not doing this with you. But yeah, it's really cute. It's really charming, but it's also like really challenging. And I kind of like that. I will play more Slime Heroes given the opportunity. Again, this all depends what's coming out at the same time, et cetera, et cetera. I finally beat this bastard at the very end.
Oh, nice.
I killed him and he killed me seconds later. And this was after I usually go 6 to 9 p.m. for stream. It was 9 o'clock, it was 9 o'clock. All right, guys, let's do one more try. We did one more try. I died instantly. Okay, that doesn't count. One more try. And that one more try turned into 2 one more tries. By then I'm like, it's 9:05. Let's go to 9:10. So one more try. I died. One more try. It was probably 19 to 20 one more tries. And I'm like, all right, we'll just go till 9:15. It was 9:14. I have one more chance. And like you could just see my body not wanting to stop, and I'm like, I need to do other things than play this one game. I need to do something else. And yeah, there's a clip. I put it on Twitter. I tagged the team in it, and I was like, why are you guys stressing me out like this? I kill it. It kills me. It gives me the better luck next time screen, and I'm dumbfounded. And then it comes back in with like the award of like, I beat the battle. And it's like, thanks for playing. I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good. We're fine, everybody. We're okay. Good night, everyone. Like I just wrapped it up. It's tough. It's tough. And like I said, it was the boss that really gave me the most trouble. I think the rest of the game wasn't too bad. There was exploring. There was like, hey, find this. As you defeat some enemies, they'll drop like trinkets, which can turn into different specials, which goes into your stamina bar. I think you could do 4. There's an LB, RB, and then LT, RT. So the 4 trigger buttons. But I couldn't tell if they were like tethered, if all the L's were the same and because I only unlocked 2 things. But it looks like you could do 4 different ones. But it's cute. It was fun. This, I could easily see people like, oh, this looks really fun. And then they play it like, this is really fucking hard. Man.
Cool.
Yeah. Slime Heroes is cool. What
I like how colorful it is. Like,
it's really
mostly
pretty.
if you think of Souls-likes, it's like gray and dark and
and hard. And I think that's a huge thing for me in this modern generation of Souls-likes, because we have the Dark Souls games. They've never been my thing. Even everyone loves Elden Ring. I probably gave it like 9 hours. I'm like, this still isn't for me. But then like I crushed another Crab's Treasure this year. And as hard as that was, like that felt more approachable for me. It was a world I wanted to be in. Even when I was dying and getting those like game over screens, and I can't think of what the thing was in another Crab's Treasure. Remind me if you know in the comments. But like the Davy Jones, you're dead, blah, 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 whatever thing they gave me, like that never felt as patronizing to me as like Dark Souls, like you're dead screen did, right? Like I kept feeling motivated to go and try again. I think there's the goofy cartoonness of having a really hard game, which is another reason why I probably love Cuphead, that I can like house Cuphead in an hour because I played it so many times because I love that game. Another Crab's Treasure, I felt like Slime Heroes is like, if we keep getting Souls likes that are like this, give me a cartoony, approachable, fun loving looking one. I think I could easily be like, it's not that I dislike Souls likes, I just like the cozy ones.
Yeah.
So keep making them like this.
Cool.
All right, hold on. Now I see some bangers on here because now I thought I've played. So now you've got a few back to back that timestamp that I'm excited to hear about. Because the first one you have on here is on my list, and that's probably getting streamed tonight. Twitch.tv/JB.
Well, it should be like right up your alley because, like, by day you're a shop owner, and by night you're a dungeon delver. Does that sound like your kind of gameplay loop?
No, I hate that. That sounds super boring. I would never play Moonlighter. I mean, what? Oh man, yeah. Tell me about Call of Boba. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. So instead of running a shop full of fantasy goods, you run a boba tea bar together with your childhood friend after your life in the big city only managed to have you end up in hospital.
Oh no.
Yeah. So by day you're running this tea shop, and it's a good gameplay loop. Like you choose a couple of recipes that you can order each day. And then people come in and order, and then some people will order takeout. Some people will just enjoy their drink in your shop. It's a good time. By night, all of your fears come to life in your dreams.
No.
Yes. And there you will do twin stick shooter combat.
Yeah. I love this.
And those battles will actually get you new ingredients to create new drinks with.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
There's also a little bit of farming as well, and like the combination of these three gameplay elements, it just works so well, especially with like this cute art style. It's a good time. The only thing I would like critique is that combat didn't feel all that fluid to me.
Okay.
But then again, I'm terrible at twin stick shooters, so maybe it's just me. But the rest of it is like, this is a gameplay loop that will suck you in.
Let's do it. Did they clarify what kind of bird you are? I've been calling it a penguin. I don't know what you are.
I think it's a penguin.
Okay.
I assume it's a penguin.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I didn't see anywhere like play as Penguin Pablo, which is Backyardigans. I don't know if that came anywhere, but.
Something that was weird though is that like you have like some of the creatures that you like, for example, your childhood friend is this cat-like creature.
Okay.
But then the train that you arrive on is also a cat.
Oh, like we're talking like ghibli, like cat bus type, like cat, like
something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It has a cat's head for some reason, which I just thought was weird, but okay.
Yeah. That's like the goofy Pluto dog thing. Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited for this one. I remember I had to go back. You tagged me in their tweet about it, right? I think they were like looking for content creators to play Call of Boba. And like what I wanted to respond with the clip of me reacting to it. I could not remember for the life of me where we saw that. I forget if it was something we watched together. I forget if it was something that I just reacted to, but I could not find my reaction of Call of Boba. So I just went like, yeah, dude, I'm so excited. And I'm like, I can't find the fucking clip. I can't find it anywhere. But I remember seeing like, yes, this is Moonlighter with a bird, and I'm here. It looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm playing that. Fuck, I'm gonna play it tonight. I'll play it, tonight for you guys. To me, right now it's Wednesday for us, so tonight's not for stream. Tomorrow for stream. I can't play Paul. Fuck, I gotta wait 24 hours. But all right, what else we got?
Next up, I've got The Edge of Allegoria.
I'm excited to hear about this one. This is also on the list. I want to check this out too.
Let me tell you, the word edge is doing a lot here because this is basically an edgy version of the very first Pokemon game.
Okay. Oh no, there was a dude. I never saw the dude hanging. Oh no, I just noticed that.
Yeah. The developer labels the game as not a fucking kids game.
Okay.
And the writing here takes a similar tone, and it was really confusing to me.
Okay.
Because I grew up playing Pokemon Blue on my Game Boy when it first came out.
The better version. Fuck you, Charizard, you bitch.
Exactly. And the thing is, this game evokes like the sense of nostalgia for my days of playing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it feels very cynical.
Okay.
And it's like really trying to be all mature, and it uses swear words, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it felt kind of cynical in the way that it talks to the player as well. I'm not sure this is going to be a game for me.
Okay. Weed?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know. I have to check more of the demo because I actually turned it off after a while. Maybe I should like play it for a bit longer to see if like the cynical tone gets softer, I guess.
So when you say you like turned it off, right? When you're not in the headspace for it, was it a little overwhelming with like the source material? Was it just like maybe not feeling this type of game right now, or like what was that vibe?
It was the cynical feeling that really got me down.
Okay.
For example, the game starts with like this overview of history.
Yeah.
So it's like
balls.
Yeah, so it starts with like first a lot of shit happened.
Mm.
And then less shit happened and people started doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And this is where you come in, and you will not be doing epic shit like what happened at the beginning, because nothing will be ever be that epic.
Okay.
But yeah, this is your story now.
Okay.
And I don't know. I guess maybe I wasn't feeling it today, but I have issues with things that feel cynical to me. For example, the TV show The Boys.
Yeah.
Feels like a very cynical take on superheroes.
Yeah.
And I think it's a me problem in that I don't like that kind of cynical feeling. But
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sit and think, right, because like this is still on my list. I want to check this one out. I think I'm in that same spot where I played Pokemon Blue growing up. I remember getting a copy of Pokemon Green from my cousin, who I don't know how she got it, but I had it, and I had no idea how to play. I just smacked the button until Bulbasaur hit something. But yeah, the nostalgia of this felt like really cool to me, and I'm very excited to see it. You sold me more when you're like, oh, it's got the adult themes. It's not a fucking kids game. And then like, I feel like I've seen this trailer so many times, and I feel like I've missed so much and not noticed, like, did I just notice the weed today? Like, is that the first time I realized that? And like the dude hanging, I guess I didn't think it was a kid's game, but I thought it was just a more mature Pokemon combat game. And as someone who loves the boys and can absolutely be like, oh, yikes, that's rough, but like people blowing up, let's go. Like I'm still like, hold on, this still looks like my shit. So I'm definitely what I want to dive into and see how it grabs me.
Yeah, I'll be interested to like hear what your thoughts are, because like another example is one of the first people you meet in your hometown. She's like, when are you gonna start doing something with your life, you little shit?
No, I hate her. She's not my friend.
Yeah, it just feels like I don't like being talked to in that tone.
Yeah.
so I don't want my video games to do that.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That sounds like so. I would just be like, all right, well, I'm gonna bitch about you the rest of the stream. Like, yeah, Abigail, I don't like you anyway. Who asked you? Let me see. Pull up the next one. Wow. Yeah, no, I really like the vibe of this one. I will keep like the things you mentioned here as I play through. I'll be like, okay, we'll see how it hits me. But another one I think looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm curious to find out next week what your thoughts are.
For totes. But now you have one more on here that I definitely want to hear about. Because I know someone, I believe Aaron, in the YouTube comment sections, was all just like, are you going to play this one? I'm like, maybe. We'll see. But tell me about Lonely Mountains Snow Riders.
So this is a sequel to Lonely Mountains Downhill, which was a game in which you rode your mountain bike down a big hill.
Yeah.
And that sounds really simple, and that's because it is. Like, basically, it's trial and error because, like, you're going to have obstacles along the way down. But that's basically it. There's no music. It's just you and the sounds of nature. And, like, you can try and, like, go for the fastest times or whatever. Or you can just take it easy and just enjoy your time getting downhill. And Snow Riders looks to be more of the same, but instead of mountain biking, you are on skis. The first thing that's the biggest difference with the first game is that now you're on snow, and I have to say that, like, you really get the feeling that you're on snow, like the turning and gliding. It really feels like you're there. In the same way that the mountain biking in the first game felt really good, the skiing here feels excellent. The physics just feel right, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The only thing that worried me is that when I started the game up, my computer went really loud all of a sudden. And it stayed that way during my entire gameplay.
I was sitting there wondering, the trailer's been a little bit buggy. Like, I was like, today's been a good one. And then, like, this one's just like, and like, it just keeps freezing on me. Like, hold on, what's happening? Why are we dying?
Yeah.
It's too high quality.
It is.
Yeah, I never really got into the first Downhill. I remember playing it, or the first Lonely Mountain. I remember playing it on Game Pass, and I thought it was fun. I could see it, but it definitely wasn't, like, my cup of tea. And when the chat was like, are you going to play the second one? I'm like, maybe. I probably won't, like... I won't dedicate a stream to it. I probably won't be like, guys, we're playing snowboarding tonight. But I would definitely be on the side of like chill and just, snowboard down the mountain as opposed to like going for the records and everything. Cause it looks fun. And I forget is there like the intent of like the cartoony wreck and crash? Like, oops, I fucked up and died. Or is it like is more like the relaxation athletic sim type deal?
There's plenty of crashing, but it like you don't really mind. You instantly restart at the last checkpoint.
Okay.
And like you never get angry with the game because it gets too frustrating.
Okay.
But at the same time, it does offer a challenge, which is fun.
I'll take that. I'll take a little bit of a challenge. I might try out the demo. We'll see what, like, I have however many downloaded right now that I have to check out, but I don't think it looks great. I think people will enjoy it. I just don't know that Danny will.
It's not for everyone, just like the first game wasn't for everyone. But, like, I can imagine if you're, like, nostalgic for, like, childhood memories when you went skiing with your family.
Okay.
And I think this could be like a game that really brings that nostalgia to the surface.
Okay. There we have it. That's so exciting. Wait, hold on. The Devolver posted a behind the scenes making of Neva video. I just need to open that so it's in my history and then I'll watch that later. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. So we're recording this barely halfway through Next Fest. We're still going to play a bunch more for next week's episode and talk more about those. But we both built a list here of what else we plan to play. I'll hop on this one first. I know I want to check out a game that's called An Unfinished Game. I put that in our the video I put on YouTube about recommended demos. It's another one of those first-person puzzle games, but you are playing as a new game tester in a bunch of like unfinished projects. I haven't got my hands on it yet, but I'm excited to see how they translate like game development or forgotten projects into a actual playable game. I'm prepared for a very, maybe not as emotional, but a beginner's guide-esque type story. So I think that'd be really cool. Like, I just don't want to cry again. Let me see. I know I'm very excited for Overthrown, survival farm sim game where you can run around with buildings and everything, sawmills. The plan is to stream that on Saturday. I know my buddy Kanai should be there. I want to check that one out. So I'm very excited to check out Overthrown. Legends of Boom. We actually had the dev pop in the stream Monday night. And I wasn't familiar with this one. I still don't entirely know what it's a strategy game. I keep saying it looks like chess. It's got the chessboard kind of pattern to it. But it's like this adult humor Muppet. That's the announcer. And the announcer is the announcer from the NBA Jam games, which I'm like, that's really cool. That's sick. But I guess this Muppet just has like free reign. He's like, wait, I can get drunk, high, and talk about the game? Let's go. Like, it's like really goofy. And that's what sold me, the Muppet. So I definitely want to try that one out. Huge shout out to the devs for hopping into chat and telling me about their game because I really want to see that one. I also have, I think Supa is how you'll say it. I keep wanting to say Sopa, but it's about like soup. One of those cultural adventure games you're playing as like a kid. I guess grandma used to make soup for you in the afternoon. You're like, oh, this is the life I've lived. Like very Coco energy in terms of like the world. So I'm like, okay, I'm down for this one. And then a demo I've had installed and now it's a part of Next Fest I want to jump into, and that's Rift of the Necrodancer. Yeah, Crypt never really got me. I was really bad at the rhythm jumping and platforming as you got to later levels. And then I never got into Cadence of Hyrule, but Rift of the Necrodancer looks really cool. And I don't necessarily think I'm like the biggest Guitar Hero fan, but put it in the indie paint and I'm probably into it. So that's definitely a demo I want to hop onto.
Yeah.
But what else you got to play yet for this Next Fest? I know you have here. I have over 100 demos downloaded. Ha ha ha. So
I do, but I kept the list as short as possible.
And we appreciate it.
I'm gonna play the new demo for Beastie Ball.
Hell yeah.
Which is like this creature collector volleyball RPG. And it looks cool. It also has music by Lena Rain, who made the music for Chicory and Celeste.
We love that. I didn't know that.
Always that's an easy sell for me. Then I've got Keep Driving, which is this 2D side-scrolling road trip adventure. And like the people who have played the demo are just gushing about it, and I have to see for myself what the whole hype is about.
Yeah, you got me to download that one before we started, so I got to see that one too.
Yeah. Then I've got Locomotive, which is another game that's been on my wish list for quite some time. It's set on a moving train, and you have a mystery to solve, but it's fully voice acted and it seems funny as hell.
I love that.
Yeah.
I played the demo for that one last year, and it wasn't voice acted. Now that it is, I want to see how it translates, because that one's really fun. Voice acted. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Just before it wasn't, so now they added voice acting, and like it was a lot to read. As like the streamer who does like the voices while he's playing, I'm like, my throat's dry. It's a lot.
Yeah. Then there's a new demo for Spilled.
Oh yeah.
The game where you clean up the oceans with the oil spills and stuff. I backed the game on Kickstarter, and this is gonna be one of my most anticipated releases when it comes out. So I'm eager to try the demo. I also put Toads of the Bayou on my list, which you talked about earlier. And then there's a new demo for Trash Goblin as well, where you clean up trinkets and sell them, and it's the most satisfying gameplay loop ever.
Dude, Trash Goblins is so good. That's next month. That's like November 6th, I think, that comes out.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I got to play my November releases, and I know that and something else is on there. I forget what else is coming out in November already, but fairly early November, I think.
Okay.
So many indies.
Indies, man. Indies.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, there's so much to play for this Next Fest. I have a bunch downloaded, even mentioned here, that I hopefully will be checking out on stream and throughout the week. So let us know in the comments which indie games you've been playing during Next Fest, and then I'll ask you again next week which other ones you've been playing, and we'll go from there. Cool. All right, bet. But now I can move this back to my main monitor.
I'm Sam.
Boop. Got it. We nailed it. We in, baby. Let me see. Now let's talk about the indie games releasing this week from October 17th through October 23rd. First, we have A Little to the Left Extra Tidy Edition coming out October 18th for Switch. Then we have Speedo Llama coming out October 21st for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. We have Fear the Spotlight for October 22nd on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Streets of Rogue 2 finally coming out in early access on PC October 22nd. The Axis Unseen October 22nd for PC. I thought it was early access. Good to know it's full release. I have no clue if it is or isn't. I just a lot of games. Let's go. Potionomics, the Masterwork Edition, coming out October 22nd for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. I got my order confirmation. I got my physical copy on the way, so let's get it. Dun Jungle, I believe Bruno is the name of the developer. We follow each other on Twitter. We played this a while back for a trial period. October 22nd, dropping on PC in early access. It's a roguelike where you play as a monkey man, so it's pretty cool. Okay. No More Room in Hell 2, dropping October 22nd on PC and early access. Wildermyth, October 22nd on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. The Art Collector, October 22nd for PC. Linked, Banner of the Spark, October 22nd for PC and early access. Wilmot Works It Out, October 23rd for PC. Zero Sieverts?
I have no idea.
Bet it's Cyverts. I know how to say it. Zero Cyverts, October 23rd for PC and version 1.0. And then While We Wait Here, October 23rd for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, excuse me, and PC. A lot of games dropping during this Next Fest week. So, it's a busy time. Busy time for indies.
Absolutely. I would recommend Potionomics because the base game is really cool, and the Masterwork Edition will add more stuff.
Yeah,
including an easier mode, which is nice.
That's what I'm waiting for.
And then if you haven't played Wildermyth on PC, that is a big recommend from me. It's finally coming to consoles. I actually ordered the physical edition, even though I already own a game on PC. It's really good. If you like turn-based combat and great narratives, Wildermyth is one to pick up.
Mm-hmm. And for some reason you haven't played A Little to the Left, that's another fun one. Great play. You're just straightening shit, guys. Just putting shit where it belongs.
It's OCD the game.
Yeah. It's great. And then, of course, I'll also stand Potionomics. I felt bad because chat would ask me, like, are we going to finish this? I'm like, I don't know if I can, guys. Like, I barely squeaked by, because when you started, it was a lot of, like, getting the right ingredients and potions and enough money early. Because once you got to the first boss, if you didn't have it, like, you couldn't craft the stuff to beat her. So I'm like, I can't beat this. So having that easier mode, I'm like, yo, listen, chat, if I can say simp on YouTube, if we're trying to simp over some witches in this game, like, we might have a chance now. So yeah, I'm very excited for the new Potionomics, the Masterwork one. So yeah, play that one for sure. And then timestamp with that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you so much for watching. Steam Next Fest still underway. We're hopping out of here. I'm going to grab me some food and play some demos, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I need to remind you guys, though, because I didn't put it at the top of the show, and I need to do this because I got to... November 9th through the 10th, we'll be doing our extra live stream on Twitch, raising some money. Every $25 donated, we're going to be smashing eggs over our head. I think it was for every donator, we're going to write your name on a balloon. We'll make a formal video and stuff later, but just so everybody knows ahead of time, if you want to help raise some money for the big, beautiful kids, we'll be raising for the Penn State Hospital here in Hershey, PA. But really looking forward to that. We loved Extra Life last year. Hope you guys will join us again for that. And then again, formal video coming soon. But, Tofr, if these little chitlins wanted to find you on the interwebs, where would they go?
The easiest way to find me is using my link tree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word. And I will also be streaming some Next Fest demos over on Twitch. And that's Play Nice Kids with underscores between the words.
Let's go. There we have it. And then, of course, you guys find me at CJNB across the interwebs, TikTok, Instagram, whole 9 yards, Twitch, YouTube, and see some more great indie gaming content. And with that, we're ready to wrap up this episode. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Steam Next Fest. Keep playing some indie games, and we'll see you guys in the next one.